What's going on, guys? DB here, and this is a great interview with Greyson Sigg, PGA Tour player, fellow Georgia Bulldog, fellow Augusta native, all around good dude. Greyson was unfiltered. He was hilarious. We had a great conversation, really in depth about Live, some of his takes. He's a member of the Sea Island Mafia. We talked about Hudson Swafford and how things may have kind of changed for him since he left to go to Live and his treatment on Sea Island. That was interesting. And Greyson was really honest and candid about his rookie season and some of the struggles and some of the grind that he endured. That honestly, I mean, we've been covering this for a while now. I wasn't even aware of some of the struggles that he talked about. It was very interesting. Greyson Sigg's a great dude. He's got a bright future on the PGA Tour, and I think you'll enjoy listening to it. I also think you'll enjoy doing this. In the link of this description, you can subscribe to the two hottest emails in the golf DFS and golf betting streets. And they are the Chalk Bomb delivered every Wednesday and the Heavy Petting email delivered every Tuesday with incredible information, incredible insight. They're free. You could join thousands of other subscribers who are getting this information. Every single week, there's a PGA Tour event, and it's giving them an edge. You got to have it, okay? You got to have it. The Tuesday Heavy Petting email is foreplay, okay, for the big piece, the Chalk Bomb. Listen, and this covers DFS and betting. There's takeaways for both sides, whether you just do one or the other or both. You need to subscribe. The link's in the description. Check it out. And without further ado, enjoy the interview with Greyson Sigg, a DGD. Let's go. Go Dogs. All right, what's up, golf addicts? I got my boy Greyson Sigg with us. He's a DGD. If you know, you know. Finally getting Greyson Sigg on the show, but I couldn't get him on because the dude was playing golf like he was playing golf like every single week. So
Yeah, I've
we had
been asking to come on forever, and you're just like, man, you got to play better for me to get on here.
That's
So
not true.
I'm
That is
happy to
not
be,
true.
be on the show.
No, man, we always want the Bulldogs on, and obviously a local Augusta guy. I mean, you don't live in
Yeah,
Augusta anymore. Obviously, you're part of that Sea Island Mafia. Do you have a tattoo yet? Have you been
no,
branded? Any of that?
no,
How does that
no
work?
tattoos, no brands, just play golf at Sea Island. That's all.
It would be pretty pimp though for you guys to get branded. Like, like tattoos. Everybody gets a tattoo for stuff, but
But
if
it has
if
to be like kind of the Olympics, like just kind of right on your forearm.
yeah, something where we could
Sea
see it.
Island Mafia in bold.
Dude, could you imagine just like that scarring, like, god dang.
It wouldn't be that bad.
I've always seen that on guys like in the NFL that are just really jacked or whatever. It looks so sick. But
Oh yeah,
on a bunch of golfer bodies, I think it would still be pretty cool. You guys could
my jacked
potentially
forearm. I mean,
yeah,
it
you
looks
guys could
amazing.
potentially break the internet with that. All right, so Sea Island Mafia member, Augusta native, went to Richmond Academy, right? Richmond
Yeah,
Academy?
it sure did.
We'll get into some of that local stuff here in a little bit. But I just Greyson, first year out on tour, rookie season. Uh Congratulations on, having a good end of the year, especially, and
Yeah,
I know you're relieved to get full status next year, ready to
sure.
rock and roll. I know you're happy to have a break, but, like, I guess just talk through the season as a whole, like the rookie season as a whole, the good, the bad, the ugly, and, kinda, how you now that you've had a second to, like, take a breath
Yeah.
and look back at it, what'd you learn, all that stuff.
Man, it's been a long 3 years, really. I mean, I was part of the super season on the Corn Ferry. So it was a 2-year long deal. And, I was fortunate enough to kind of lock up my card early in that season. So I basically played stress free golf for like a year and a half almost. A real, I'll say a year. I already had it locked up on the Corn Ferry. And so I get out rookie year and was fortunate enough to get. I think I was first on that Corn Ferry list. Below Steven Yeager and Bramlett. So I was getting in. A decent amount of the tournaments, like pretty much everything in the fall. I think I got in every event in the fall, and got off to a good start, but it's hard. I mean, you
Yeah.
feel like you got to play every week, and then the competition's obviously a lot better, and there are golf courses that you've never played before. Like that's the hardest part, and then you know I'll tell you the biggest thing this year is to me was like I can't wait to get out of this next year. It's teeing off last in every wave. I mean,
Mm.
I'm teeing off at like 8:59 to 9:10 every single week, and then 1:50 or 2 o'clock to 2:20 on Fridays or Thursday afternoon. And like that to me was like, and you're playing with Monday qualifiers. Nothing wrong with them, but like you got a little better chance if you're getting fresh greens for at least 9 holes or whatever and playing
So
with.
that's what I was gonna say is, like, dive into that a little deeper, like, why does that suck so bad?
So I mean, imagine like Detroit this year. I was last off, and Friday afternoon, like the greens were obviously the golf course was like super firming up, like a lot different, like Poana greens. I mean, like every putt was dicey, like 3 or 4 feet. You're like, man, this is it's not it shouldn't be a hard putt, but like I don't know, this ball is going to bounce, whatever. Like there's been so many players that have played and walked on it, whatever, and but like if you can play first off and get 9 holes of fresh greens and like, and get some players that have been on tour forever and like playing good. Like I can't tell you how many times I played this year with, a sponsor invite from, wherever, and the kids like nothing against him. Like it's a
Yeah.
great experience, but like he's 7 over or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's grinding over 4 footers
Yeah.
with 8 holes left, and the cut's 5 under.
Yeah.
And you're like, and he's got 40 people out there cheering him on, and I'm like, I get it. Like I'm all for that, but at the same time, like, there's guys out here trying to make a living and like do kind of, trying to stay away from that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like bad in that regard, but sometimes that does get tough.
So you're a complete Justine Reed, use golf facts sympathizer for Patrick Reed's
Correct.
wave complaints, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. I did not take it that far, but I don't know how I just got on that rant, but
Well, it's interesting. Like those are the little nuances that are
yeah,
interesting to guys like us. I mean, especially with what I mean, I know you follow us, and we're primarily
yeah,
DFS and betting. We're not going to talk about a lot of that stuff with you on, but little stuff like that's interesting, and I think it's some
it
of that
is,
behind the
and it
scenes
it
stuff that guys don't
truly
talk enough about.
like I like I don't bet golf, but I know like the round one leaders. Like how many times you see a round one leader
Oh,
come in the afternoon,
not very.
um or a guy teeing off last in its wave. It's always like one of the first. Like it's very rare that it's not one of the first like 6 or 7 groups on Thursday morning, right?
Yep.
So like there's something to be said for like teeing off early in the wave and like teeing off with good pairings. I know pairings are tough sometimes, but it's stuff like that. And then other things is like being a rookie, man. You feel like you got to play every event unless you get off to just a really good start.
You played like
Like
29 events, is that right?
I think I
20,
played 30. I think it was
30.
30. I think St. Jude was the 30th. So, but you look at a guy like Justin Lauer, man, who got his tour card. I think he played 2 events in the fall, and then ends up like in Greensboro a couple weeks ago, like missed a 10 footer that sneaky would have kept his card. So I mean, you get your tour card, and then next thing you know, you're barely getting into events, and you're like, man, this is like I'm stuck in the middle here. Like, to go back and play this Corn Ferry stuff, and like, try and make some cash because I'm not getting in these other events. So it's little things like that. That's tough, and hopefully I've obviously will not be a rookie anymore, so I've learned a few things here and there, and looking forward to next year and kind of knowing the golf courses too. I mean, that's a huge thing. Like, get there Monday, and then most of the time some of the rookies are playing the Monday pro-ams, and you got to play Tuesday. You got to play 18 holes on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like for me, like my schedule is like I play, make the cut, and then Monday fly travel. I take that as kind of a travel day, whatever, and then Tuesday I had to play 18 holes this year because like where I was, it was also funny, like where I was on the FedEx Cup and like being a rookie and whatever, I was like every single week, if I got in the pro am, I teed off at like anywhere from like 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and that was always delayed. Like
Yeah.
so, and if I wasn't in the pro am, I was first alternate for that wave, anyways. Like I'll tell you, like St. Jude last week, or what? Yeah, whenever it was, I was first alternate for the 2:30 to 5 o'clock wave, and Johnny Vegas was teeing off at 5 o'clock, and he was like, "Yeah, my wrist hurts. Like, you gotta
So
go
here
play."
you
And I
go.
was literally like, I'd already packed all my stuff. Like, I was there practicing, and I'm like, I'm out. Like, I'm not getting in. I'm like about to go get a little stretch in or whatnot, and then they called me. They're like, "Yeah, you're on the tee in 5 minutes." I'm like, "Okay, perfect. Can't wait." So it's like little things like that. So not leaving the
Yeah.
golf course till 8 o'clock because then you take 3 hours and 20 minutes to play 9 holes.
Yikes. So talk about
But it's
your
amazing. It's
of course,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. But there, those little things
I
definitely
wouldn't
can
trade
add
it
up.
for anything.
Those little things though can add up over a season for a guy who's grinding to get in that
100%.
125 and playing 30 events. All right, we're going to get right back to this fantastic show in just a second, but we have known a guy who's made a ton of money in a little bit of a business, okay, that he started years ago, over 6, 7 years ago, called Smart Scalpers. Our friend Kevin started this company. He's franchised it now to over 16 others. And basically, you can be your own guy. You can be your own girl. It can be a side hustle, a part-time job, a full-time job, selling tickets. You buy and sell tickets with a sophisticated and intelligent software that does it all for you, all driven over the internet, no face-to-face, no standing out on street corners, none of that. He franchised this model back in 2019. It's exploded. A lot of the franchisees and the brokers do the side hustle, and they're making more than even their full-time job. There's no strings attached. You can get out anytime you want, and they provide the training, they provide the support staff, and they train you weekly to help you grow. So you can check out smartscalpers.com. The best thing to do is to call the number or text the number you see here on the screen, 706 755 5974, and tell them the Tour Junkies sent you. They're going to hook you up with some training. Again, it's something you could do on the side. You can do it for as little or as much as you want to do, but it's helping to broker tickets to sporting events, concerts, theaters, performances, whatever you do. Okay. If you want to go see a comedy show, if you want to see a woman sing opera, or you want to go see a baseball man or a basketball man, or maybe you want to go to the WNBA. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to do anything with tickets, if you want to make a little extra money or possibly turn something like this, work from home, into your full-time gig, check it out. Text them, call them, 706 755 5974. I've personally known Kevin for over 20 years. He's a great dude. He's trustworthy, does a lot of work with the Masters. He's a great person, and his team is fantastic. They'll set you up, they'll train you. Check it out. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
So like after now that you've been out on the PGA Tour and you're playing with the best in the world, right? Like evaluate yourself looking back from a here's what like when you look at the average tour player, maybe slightly above average tour player, how do you see yourself in terms of those the skill sets that you think you do really well, the skill sets that you're going to have to improve on? Um, just I guess give yourself a report card or something for that.
Yeah, I would consider my year not great this year. I don't feel like I played extremely well. I feel like I had some equipment issues there kind of in the middle of the year. Had some body issue as well, but like you said, I played 30 events, a lot of events. Didn't have much time to kind of unwind and like figure a bunch of that stuff out. But normally I drive it really well, and this year I would say I didn't drive it as well as I have in the past. And I learned the hard way that you can hardly play out of the rough on the PGA Tour. Corn Ferry, everywhere else, college golf, wherever you can play. I mean, it's obviously harder out of the rough, but
Yeah.
like you can still get it around. Like greens are soft enough, but you miss the fairway on the PGA Tour, you're gonna have a pretty tough time at making a four, in my opinion. So that's me. Like I feel like I was gonna be a little like higher strokes gain
See?
off the tee, and I really wasn't at all. And like, there were weeks where I wasn't hitting it, and my driving distance isn't great, but I was looking at that stat too, and it's kind of skewed where like if you drive it 295, and then the next guy drives it 298, 299, like that's like a 60-person difference there.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's very tight.
Like if you drive it like 289, you're gonna be like 160th on
Yeah.
tour, and if you drive it 297, you're gonna be like maybe 105 or something.
Yeah.
So like that stat to me is like 6 yards is not that big of a deal,
Yeah.
but it is like. But if you're, the thing I learned, like if you're gonna hit it short ish, I mean, I wouldn't say I hit it short. I'd say I hit it about average.
Yeah.
Which nowadays it's getting crazier and crazier with how guys are hitting it. You remember that kid when you came and watched us at Byron that I played with? Do you remember that guy?
Callum Tarrant? No, 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 the
No,
big South
no.
African. Yes, yes, that's what
Dude, he hits it like 400 yards, like easy, like cruising 400 yards in the air. You
yeah,
remember that kid?
yes, I think it was on number, was it number 8?
And the kid, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe this guy as I'm watching him. I'm like, you drive it 405 yards in the air, and you're trying to hit 6 irons in the fairway, and you're like hitting 6 irons out of bounds. I'm like, dude, just hit driver.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I mean, if you can't get driver in play, like, then why are you trying to hit 6 iron when you can't even get that in play?
yeah, that was wild. That dude could maul it because, like you said, you're not short, and you were playing with
No,
Callum Tarrant, and he's long,
yeah, he smashes it.
and
Yeah,
he was like, this guy was four clubs longer than Callum Tarrant. Yeah,
right.
that dude was a stud. Um,
Uh, but no, I mean, if you're gonna miss fairways, you better drive it 315 yards to have a chance.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
What
So
about,
like that's my thing. Like miss hitting it 285 and being in the rough is not very good on the PGA Tour because
yeah,
you're gonna have the next guy up. If he misses a fairway, he's more than likely gonna carry it 310, and he's gonna have 25 yards on you. And so I got 6 iron, and he's got a 9 iron or something.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe not that skewed, but you get what I mean.
statistically, like, looking at your year, statistically, you gained strokes off the tee in most of your events.
Yeah,
There weren't, like, overwhelming weeks,
yeah.
where you just gained so many. And then ball striking in terms of, like, your iron play, I would say is probably your next best number. And then it was kind of more, I would say, I guess, more the around the green play and possibly the putter that also kinda held you back a little bit. So are those things like, what do you do now in the off season? Like, how are you adjusting? What's your plan to, like, improve those things?
So, as far as around the green, I've used 14 wedges forever. And you know what that company, the Japanese company?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Um, Here I got. Let me see. I got
Yeah,
a
go
set.
grab one.
I'll show you one right here. So I use these wedges for. I mean, my entire like career in college. I know Rusty. He lives in Athens, and can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. I don't know if some people will be
Yeah, I see it.
they'll probably recognize it. But so anyways, I wasn't able, they discontinued them in the United States like beginning of the year on tour. So I had no heads, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. And like I've played this wedge forever, and like I consider chipping like one of the strongest suits of my game, to be honest. So I had some equipment issues big time in that aspect to where I was using Vokies and like I just never could get the same, coming out of the same window and like around the greens, bunker play was not near as good. So, um, but yeah, putting's always been maybe not my strongest suit, but I just would like to get it more consistent, right? Like
Yeah,
I have great putting weeks to where I feel like, and then there are weeks where I'm like, man, I can't. But it goes from week to week. It just bounces around. I'm like, how can I get putting the same, putting good, weekend at least 3 or 4 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying, and
yep,
kind of build off that. So that's something that I'm trying to work on a little bit and kind of dial back in this off
yeah.
season. Well,
So
off season like 2 weeks.
yeah, because I'd imagine you'll be ready. You'll be starting back in the fall,
Yeah.
ready to do your thing, huh?
Yes, sir.
What are like some of the courses that now you look back on and you're like, man, I can't wait to get another crack at that one because these courses are whatever really I feel good about and they suit my game or I'm comfortable with them. What are those courses for you that you look forward to getting back on?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Napa's one of my favorites. I'd have to kind of look at the list, but ones that I can think of, Napa. I love Napa. Last year was great. Houston is not my favorite. RSM, obviously love RSM. I mean, Seaside's one of my favorite golf courses. Probably is my favorite golf course down on the island.
Yeah,
And then Travelers was amazing. John Deere, I love John Deere. Obviously, like 3M. I mean, that was my best finish of the year there. Detroit. I mean, a lot of the tournaments in summertime were to me some of the best we played all year. And I'm trying to think. I need to go back and look in the, but like Mexico Open. I mean, I don't think I'll ever go back there. That place was. James Dupree needs to go there. The fairways are 900 yards wide,
yeah, yeah,
and I mean
yeah,
like greens are slow, like past Palom greens, and I'm just like, like if you hit it 400 yards here, then you're probably gonna win.
yeah.
No. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that was pretty clear just doing some early research for that place.
Yeah,
It was very clear that this was gonna be a bomber's paradise, just step
absolute
back and
bomber's paradise.
rip it. Um, nice. What about, so I mean, obviously, we've already talked about this, you're Sea Island Mafia guy, you're a Georgia Bulldog, so you've already got a ton of guys on tour because dogs just continue to put out incredible golfers on tour, so you got a bunch of those guys, you got the Sea Island connections. I'd imagine you coming out as a rookie, you had a lot of friends already, you probably had a lot of connections already. Are there some guys that you kinda got to know over the year that you're like, you didn't know before and like you're close with, or like who are your other buddies on tour that you like to hang out with and while you're out there traveling?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of the Sea Island guys hang out with them. Lee Hodges, I'm pretty good buddies with Callum Tarrant. Lee Hodges and I are great buddies. Chris Kirk, Brennan Todd, Denny McCarthy,
Yeah.
great buddy of mine. Ben Coles, hoping that he can get his tour card back the next couple weeks.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, every week it seemed like it was like me, Sep Straka, Chris Kirk, Brennan Todd, JT Poston, Patton Kazire, Ben Coles. Like that was like who I stayed with pretty much
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
And the best week of the year was when Postman won John Deere. I think we had 7 guys in a house,
Oh, nice.
and that
Did you have a little
was
celly?
oh yeah, that was pretty fun week. There was some cash getting flipped around the table at night and with the cards,
Oh,
but
what you playing? What are you playing?
we played gin.
Okay.
Played gin, and
Was JT in the house?
Kirk is a big Yahtzee guy too, but I'm not the biggest
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee fan. So
If I were Postman, like I'm gonna deal blackjack and I'm the dealer. I'm the house.
well,
That's what
yeah,
I would be doing.
he always kind of like sat back and was
After
real
you win.
quiet. But then once he won, he was throwing gin
He
around.
Yeah, he was in it. You ever played a game
He
called
paid for the
Walking?
house for the week too, so it was probably my favorite week of the year.
What a gentleman.
Thanks, Postman.
You ever play a game called Walking Cane?
I have not, no, but I'm
What
all
what
ears.
We'll have to teach you that one. It's too complicated to explain over a phone. We'll have to work on that. Maybe RSM week we'll play some walking
There you
cane. You'll
go.
be
I
addicted.
can't wait. I love learning new.
Absolutely addicted. What any other like what about a pinch me moment, right? Like you're on the PGA tour, you're a rookie. Is it someone you met? Is it something you did? Is it
I think
something
the
that happened?
best thing that comes to mind right now was playing Sunday at 3 a.m. this year with Tony Finau.
Yeah.
We were, I can't remember, probably third to last group, something like that. And man, he played so well, and like you could just tell like the energy was building, and it was like I've never really been in a setting like that. I mean, I played Phil at the U.S. Open at Torrey a couple years ago, but like we were in like 50th place, so
Yeah.
like was only we could only go up so much. But like Tony, like you could feel him, like a couple birdies like on the front nine, and like you could feel more people kind of the energy getting up, and it was just fun to watch him, man. He played so good, and he's such a nice guy. Like
Yeah, he is.
it was pretty cool to watch. I mean, I couldn't believe that shot he hit on 17. Like from our perspective, I was like, ball's definitely going either long of the water into the like hay or for sure in the water. And next thing I know is like just a foot off the front of the green, chipping right up at it.
Yeah.
Like sure time is sure time. But I was pretty happy for him. So that was a pretty cool moment this year.
Yeah, I've gotta imagine that was fun for you, and
Yeah,
obviously you're playing really well. Your best finish of the year,
yeah.
sticks out and memorable, I'm sure. I gotta ask you this because I ask every podcast guest this, and if you don't have anything, that's fine. Any good, memorable Siwoo Kim interactions?
I honestly don't think I have any.
You need to create some.
Um,
That's your goal.
yeah, he's awesome, huh?
Yeah, yeah, he's electric. So at the top of your list for the fall is
Yeah, so I should
create.
just start going playing practice rounds with him.
Yes, create moments with Siwoo, improve,
Putting.
whatever you want around the green or to put. Yeah, get your wedges going. Import your wedges from wherever. But at the top of the list is create memories with Siwoo, and then you
Okay, deal.
Get back to us after you do that.
Deal.
Okay.
Okay. We'll have a
Um,
follow-up question on that.
yes, we'll talk about that. We'll
I'm
talk about
trying to
that.
think, no, because I don't feel like he plays that much. Like, Does he? I mean, you
Not compared
follow.
to your ass, but I mean, he
Well,
plays
yeah. I mean,
plenty.
I'm out there every week, so
Yeah, he plays plenty. He's out there. I don't know. He seems to he made less weekends this year than he has in years past,
that's
but
what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I just haven't really seen him that much this year.
oh, yeah, he's around. He's
Oh
around.
yeah, he's lurking.
He's lurking.
I figured you like honestly. I was like, I need to. I thought about writing down my live talk because I figured you're just gonna hear me live golf the whole time.
Well, you brought it up, so what do you think?
Oh, great!
Have you heard
Brought it
anything about
up
the player
myself.
have you heard anything about the Tiger meeting?
You know, I tried to attend every one of those meetings, like when I was playing, and like Jay did one of those meetings, and I thought it was very interesting. Some of the stuff that was brought up, and it was always a pretty damn good turnout. Like and I feel like every player should go. Um,
Yeah.
but I have not. I mean, honestly, I probably know just as much as everyone else from reading. From what No Laying Up came out with, and I've asked a few guys, and they pretty much told me the same thing. Like they just proposed this new like tour within a tour, and so I really don't know the details of it. I mean, it sounds good right now, but my question from you know just reading about it would be like, how do we get in that top 60 or 70 guys? Right? I mean,
That's what I was about to ask you because
the
you would.
product is that sounds awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, for player and I think for fans and everyone, but like, you know, competition is what brings the PGA Tour to life. And like, you got guys who you've never heard of, like doing life change stories. But like, if you have the same top 60 guys, like playing in the first, seven of those events, and they're going to get so many points because there's no cut. So like, they're going to keep their card every year. Like, they're, I'm not saying that they don't deserve to because they're obviously the best in the world, but like, you got to find a way to,
Churn
you
in new
know,
talent.
turn in new talent to where if you finish fifth or top 10 or something, you get in one of these the next whatever. um, so
Uh,
I think it could be great, and I'm sure they obviously know what they're doing, and at a time like this we got to do something a little different, spice things up. So
yeah.
hopefully we can get it right.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when we went to the RSM a couple years ago, briefly meeting Scotty Scheffler, like just quickly. And
Yeah,
I was like, okay, cool. Scotty Scheffler. Yeah. He had a pretty good Corn Ferry Tour season. He's a good player, played at a high level college. Right.
always been
Um,
like
but
always been one of the best.
but now he's the number one player in the world, right? So you get these guys where they seemingly come out of nowhere to a casual golf fan,
Not
but then they're not. But they're not. They don't come in ranked in the top whatever. Like I mean, Cam Young wasn't ranked in the top. I don't even know where he was, but when he entered the season, I doubt he was top 100 in the world.
no.
And so it only takes one
But
season
here,
sometimes for
and,
those guys
and
to emerge.
exactly kind of what you're saying, man. Like that's my beef with it all. Like there's no such thing as a bad field on the PGA Tour,
Mm,
in my opinion.
yep.
Like some fields are better than others. Obviously, St. Jude's better than John Deere, Barracuda, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, there's still 152 players or whatever it is, like that are pretty good. Like
Yeah.
you know, like you don't just sign up and get in there, right? Like they're
Yeah.
pretty good players, but they the tour if they could do a little better job, mainly like with the broadcast or something. Like to me like the broadcast every week is just so boring and like it's just they're showing the same guys every week and like this is my thing with it. Like, can we figure out a way to brand all of our players a little better so like people when Scotty Scheffler wins 3 times this year, 4 times, whatever he has, like people are aware of that he's on. You know what I'm saying? Like before
Yeah.
it happens, just like you said.
Yeah. So completely agree. Broadcast stuff could work wonders, and there could be a lot of changes.
And like, what's your
Um,
point of view on like watching a Sunday? Like, as a huge avid golf fan.
See, I think I'm obviously not the average viewer though, because
Yeah,
and
yeah. You're
obviously
not.
gambling and DraftKings brings a ton of different eyeballs on different people in the space because we I see the names from top to bottom
You
every
know
week,
it.
and
Yeah,
I'm
you do.
understanding
Yeah,
who they are. I knew who, you were before the season started, but before your
100%.
rookie season started, I'm sending emails out to thousands of subscribers on, "Here's 2 profile I'm gonna send you 2 profiles a week on these Korn Ferry Tour graduates to tell you who they are, where they played golf in college,
Dude, that's
statistics
great.
statistically
That's
how they
amazing.
ranked on the Korn Ferry Tour, where they could do well, where they could not do well,
Yeah,
so that you know ahead of time, right? So gamblers and fantasy players are going to have a little better understanding of the every player in the field, right?
yeah,
But the rub is, how does the PGA Tour retain eyeballs on the TV on a Saturday and Sunday? How do they do that with with players that are outside of that normal bubble, right?
yeah,
Do they have to mic you guys up during a round? And which I know that could be sketchy. Do they have to?
yeah,
Is it more like storytelling, or do they need to pull different things out of you guys to be able to share with an audience, or talk about you growing up in Augusta, for example, and doing your
yeah,
thing around around Augusta National, and like growing up right around the street from the hallowed grounds. Like, I don't know, like, how do they do that and get somebody, my dad, who may not understand or know who Callum Tarrant is,
yeah.
how do they get him to care and put Callum Tarrant on the broadcast?
Exactly. It's such a hard thing, and like I don't have an answer for it, right? And no one does. But like that was brought up in one of the player meetings. It was like the fact that Callum Tarrant was like, I don't know if he was leading or top three at the U.S. Open, whatever he was, but like I look at golf Twitter because I think it's amazing and like everyone
You're a
is.
stalker. You're a stalker on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'm telling
You're
you,
a
man.
you get involved on Instagram. I noticed that about you. Like, on Instagram, you'll post, you'll do this. On
I was
Twitter, you're
just
you're a
saying,
stalker.
I am. I read it, man. I like a few things here and there, but like I don't send in
Yeah,
tweets myself, but I read it. But like
that's right.
everyone's like,
That's smart. That's the best thing to do.
yeah. I mean, I've seen too many bad things happen with that. But everyone's like, I don't know who this guy is. I'm like, guys, he's been playing like pretty
Forever.
damn good golf for like
Yeah,
2.5, 3 years, and the guy's really good. Like,
yeah,
I mean, drives it on the string a long way and putts well. I mean,
yeah.
pretty good recipe. But
So in a way, it is on the tour to kind of bring those guys to light in a way. It's
and
just
I
there's,
don't
like,
know,
so
like
many of y'all, though. Like, how do you do it with so many?
I know it's such a tough thing, and like everyone's having a tough time like doing it. But like we got to build more stars as the
Yeah,
PGA Tour, like because we have stars
yeah,
on our tour, but let's start trying to build them, and like as far as these live guys, like I hate they're leaving. I hate live golf's a thing, what it is, but like you know, let them go and let's do our own thing. That's just kind of where I stand on it. Like I'm kind of sick of hearing
yeah,
about it, and like let's move forward and let's let Sep Straka is the next guy up. I mean, how good's he been playing?
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Do you feel like the Sea Island Mafia is pretty united in their
I feel like
decision?
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how's has anything changed, like, in that space, in the Sea Island space with Hudson Swafford?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's been great.
Really?
I'm still friends with Hud. Hud's been nothing but nice to me, and I wish
Yeah.
him the best of luck. But I wish he wouldn't have done it. I think that's just kind of where everyone is. I just wish that he would have, taken maybe a little bit and understood what he was doing, and have, potentially damaging some friendships that have been there forever. But as far as Hud and I, man, I like I said, I don't agree with what he's doing, but I'm still buddies with him, and I'm going to support him, and
Yeah.
hope he does well.
I was thinking about this yesterday because, I think Hudson may be one of them, but, like, didn't Pat Perez withdraw from the Phil Mickelson,
Yeah, I did
it's
read
how
that. Yeah,
lawsuit that's now like 17 months away? And I think
yep.
Perez, and I want to say Hudson, maybe, it could be wrong, like, withdrew as well. And
Did he? I didn't see that.
it got me thinking, and I don't know what the legal ramifications of this would be, but how do you think it would be received from guys on the tour? Or let's just use Hud as an example, a guy well connected with the same circles you run in, Georgia golf, Georgia
Yeah.
athletics, and Sea Island. How do you think it would be received if one of the first guy to basically want to come back home? right? Like I remember as a kid, we probably all did this. I was like 6 years old. I got pissed at my parents. I packed my bags. I started
Yeah.
walking down, to my buddy's house in the
As far
neighborhood.
as wanting to come back and play on the PGA Tour?
I'm just saying, like, what if somebody came back and said, like, hat in hand, public, big time, like heartfelt public apology. I felt manipulated. I bought it hook, line, and sinker like a dummy. I didn't
Yeah.
investigate this thing. I didn't think about it the way I should have. Heart in hand, I want out and I want to come back and I will help do whatever I have to do to continue to
Yeah.
solidify the PGA Tour. Okay, so if they came out and did all of that, again, legal ramifications of whatever they signed with Live or I don't know. But if somebody did that, how do you think that would be received at this point?
I don't know. I just can't. I mean, I know you're saying if that happened. I mean, I just can't imagine it happens because it seems like everyone that goes just hates the tour and wants to bash the tour and like talk about how bad the tour is. Um, I mean, I think if something like that were to happen, I don't think that they will have an opportunity to play on the PGA Tour. I think that's. I mean, for Jay Monahan, as long as he's the commissioner of the PGA Tour, those
Mhm.
guys will not be allowed to play. And he's made that clear. And they knew that, like
Yeah,
everyone, like it was in the writing, whatever.
yeah,
Um, so it's just such a weird thing. I mean, they want to just bash the PGA Tour and talk about how bad it is, but it's they've done pretty well because of the tour and the tour's,
yeah,
obviously here to help us and they want to grow, we want to grow, whatever. Like let's all grow together and
yeah.
become better. So I don't know. It's just such a weird time in golf, man.
It is
I,
super weird.
I think everyone's kind of tired of it. I mean,
Yeah,
we're ready to just kind of play golf. I mean, I don't know. That's just me at least. I'm tired of all the drama.
yep. I hear you. Well, so that's enough about Live. Let's move on. You handled that well, but you brought it up. You did bring it up, and I
I, didn't,
was
I
unscripted, so
know.
I
I didn't
I
even think about it, and that's fine. That's on me.
I could have forgotten about it literally, and then we ended the whole thing, and then I'm eating lunch and like, "Damn, I didn't ask a single question about Lyft." People are gonna think I did this interview in, like, 2019 or something. They're like, "How do you not ask about
Yeah,
Lyft
I
if
mean,
you've been
got to
talking to me
talk
about it?"
about it. We got to talk about
You
it.
did. It's like if you don't talk about it, people are gonna think, "Oh, he didn't wanna talk about it. He's
Oh,
going."
oh,
You know?
going. And then you would have tweeted like potential Sig on live
Yeah.
1 of 7, and then I would
Yeah.
have been it.
No, I would not have tweeted that.
I know you wouldn't,
Um,
but
alright, let's talk about Georgia.
yeah.
What
How about him?
What is and I mean, we'll get to football, right? But, like, what is it about UGA right now, dude? Or, like, not right now, but in the last, I don't know, how long has it been? Maybe ten years? It feels like maybe 10 years? Like, Chris Hack, Coach Hack out there doing his thing.
Oh, we're talking
Um,
about golf.
what's that?
Oh, we're talking about Georgia
I
golf.
wanna talk about golf
Uh,
first, and then I wanna talk about football. Like, how does
lame.
how does Georgia just keep printing future PGA Tour stars?
Man, it's a great program just because he gets these guys there, and he's just like, you guys go figure it out. Like we're qualifying, first event. I think their first event's the Frederica Cup. I don't, whatever they're calling it. I keep calling it something weird,
Yeah. Yeah, you
but
were
they're
talking
having a
about
tournament at Frederica in like a couple weeks, and he's like, everyone gets to school, and he's like, here are 12 guys. Your practice facilities up there. You guys do class, whatever, but go up there, practice, and we got qualifying 8 rounds for this event, and y'all go figure it out. I'll tell you when we're teeing off. So if you have like like some of the teams that I was on, we had like 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that were like studs, like great team.
Yeah.
Like my freshman year, I mean, Joey Garber, Sep Straka, Keith Mitchell, Lee McCoy, who was the best
Mhm.
player on the team, hands down. So many other guys, right? I mean, that were really good. Nick Reach was one of those guys. Sam Straka was a pretty good player. Mookie DeMoss. I mean, he's played around, but it's like you guys go practice and y'all go beat each other up and get better, and like that's just kind of what we did, man. We were just always up there, kind of competing, and just everyone was so competitive. I mean, you know how it is, and next thing you know, we did pretty good some of those years, but when you don't have the talent there, it gets kind of tough, right? I mean, so like when he can recruit well, their team's going to be unbelievable.
But how does he not how could he how at this point, given
How
as
can you
many
not recruit well? I agree, and it's. I was talking to Douglas the other day, and he was like, "Man, I don't even recruit junior golfers anymore. I'm straight in the transfer portal, just at a laptop, looking at some guy."
transfer
But
portal.
he makes a good point. He's like, "I'm so sick and tired of recruiting parents." He's
Yeah.
like, I mean, my job completely turned into the last 6, 7 years, like, oh, I'm walking to watch this kid play golf, but like his parents are like hounding me. I'm doing all this stuff with his parents, but like, I don't care about your parents. Like,
Yeah.
I want to learn more about the kid. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
recruiting you, Dad. I'm recruiting,
Yeah.
X,
Little Randall over there.
little Randall.
Yeah.
I like the way Randall bombs it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's stuff like that to where like that system, the qualifying system, man. It's like you get your guys there. We're playing 8 rounds before we go to Frederica in a month. Like, if you want to play on the team, then go prove it. And then if you're the best player on the team, go prove it.
yeah.
So like it gets you so ready for pro golf because like you finish a week and it doesn't matter. Like you're flying the next stop and you start from zero
Mm.
and you got to do it all over again. And it's just never. You're just like never really satisfied, and you're never like, I'm really good at golf. I can sit on the couch and know that. It's like, no, I'm really good, but I gotta go earn it again.
Yeah.
Type mentality, right?
Do you do
Makes
you
sense.
do you stay pretty involved with the golf team at Georgia?
I do. I don't know if you know, but I'm marrying Hacker's daughter
What? No, I didn't know that.
in
S
2 weeks.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
we've been dating for like 9 years.
congratulations. 9 years. Jeez, dude.
I
God
just
dang.
completely threw a curveball on you. How did you
What a
not know that? Do you
what a
even follow
slacker.
golf?
Yes, I follow golf. Dude, okay, I
No,
will
you
say
don't.
this. I will
You
say
don't
this.
follow.
If any listener right now that listens on a regular basis is saying this to themselves right now, they're going, "Oh, G Sig obviously doesn't know that DB has a horrible memory." And I do. I have a terrible memory. So I probably saw it on Instagram. I probably
It's
saw the
definitely
post.
been out there enough. Yeah.
I probably saw it. I'm sorry, but congratulations.
No,
That's
thank you.
fantastic. So you're
Appreciate it.
you're marrying his daughter.
Yeah.
Damn. So you're gonna be continually involved in Georgia golf,
I'm really
whether you
not
like it
though.
or
Like
not.
he's been great to me, obviously, but like I don't really talk to him like that much about golf. Like they want us to come back as much as possible, but like man, our like the Letterman's tournament is the Friday before Oregon game, which kind of stinks this year because like if I'm going back to Athens, like I want to go to Georgia Auburn game at 7:30, right? I don't
Yeah.
want to have to get in the car on Saturday morning, hungover, and drive to Atlanta and wait in traffic for 3 hours to go tailgate, right?
Yeah.
Um, but no, I mean like Letterman's, we'll come back and do that. It's always fun, but I mean yeah, I watch them for sure, but I would say it's been fun to follow. They've had some pretty good teams the past couple years, but now it's like weird too because I don't know any of the guys. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we got this guy JT or whatever. Like, I'm like, okay, who was
You're
that?
the old guy now. What
Yeah,
a
I'm like,
so
golly.
dude, you're getting married so you're getting married and then what, like a
Week
week later
before-
you tee off huh?
Yeah, so I'm getting married Friday, and then Saturday we're gonna watch football all day in Highlands, like the whole wedding party, and then Sunday I'm flying to Napa and drinking wine for like 3 days, and then I'm gonna try and play Thursday.
I don't know that we're gonna be recommending people play G-Sig at Napa, even though you said you love that golf course. Didn't you
I
just say
like the
you love
golf
that
course.
golf course?
It's either gonna be like I think it's gonna be like super shitty or like zero expectations and like
You're gonna
just
be
go absolute ball.
That's the thing about golfers predicting that kind of stuff because you just don't know, like, if there's that level of, like, stress-free, is it gonna
Man,
be really
whenever you're
bad?
like the harder I try, the worse I am.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean,
Um,
it's seriously like if you can dumb it down. Like I was telling someone this other day, like I had such a stressful year this year because I'm like, man, you gotta have a good like you gotta play good this one week. Like just have one good week, have
yeah,
top 15, top 20, and we'll move up. Like who cares? Or
yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, who gives a shit, dude? Just go play golf and like whatever happens, happens.
So where y'all getting married?
Highlands, North Carolina.
Okay, alright. Any honeymoon in the future? Like, you gonna do anything or no?
Um,
You live in Sea Island, that's like every day's a freaking
I
honeymoon.
mean, I do feel like I'm on vacation every time I'm home.
Yeah,
I treat it that way.
you are. Um,
Where I mean, at some point, man, I feel like if you look at I just don't have time. I mean, truly, like
Sure.
it's like here my season ended last week, and now I'm like had a week on the couch, and I feel like I needed to start doing shit again.
Take her to the
Uh,
Mexico Championship. Y'all enjoy the week
yeah,
leading up to it. Miss the cut like you're trunk slam on Friday. You'll have the weekend. Just do that.
no, I think she wants to go somewhere where it's not doesn't involve golf, and so do I.
I'm
On
sure
my
she gets enough
honeymoon, buddy,
golf.
I will not have my golf clubs.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'll
All
have
right,
nothing but Miller Lights.
let's talk.
No golf.
Let's talk Georgia football. Were you at the Natty?
No, I was at
You were
I
playing a
know.
tournament. Yeah, I get it.
So funny story. It was Monday night. I was in the pro am, and of course I was like
Which
last
which
tee
which
time.
tournament? Which tournament?
Sony. We were at Sony in Hawaii.
Oh, good God.
So and
Terrible
Jay
place
was
to be.
nice, and he got us like this nice room or whatever with all the Georgia guys and their families, and like of course I was on the golf course, like so I had the pregame on, like watching it while I'm like trying like. Those
Yeah.
guys probably hated me. Like that was rude. I mean, I'm like, hey, good shot, or didn't even watch them. I'm just like watching pregame. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I gotta go. Like I might leave early. I might get fined, but it's probably worth it. So I literally took off and like I'm on the phone with Sepp or someone. He's trying to tell me where to go, and like the fumble. You remember the fumble in the beginning of the game?
Yeah, dude, I was there.
Yeah. And so like we thought we scored because didn't he pick it up?
Yeah, it was a scoop score,
It was a
baby.
stupid score. So
Right
we're
off the
up
bat.
6-0, like within
Yes.
3 minutes. And then like I get there, so Sepp's like telling me that. I mean, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
awful. I was like dripping sweat by the time. I mean, I've never run that fast. Like I don't run ever, and I was
No way.
full sprint to the game after
Yeah.
that.
It was electric.
What a sweat!
Um,
What a sweat!
you got any interactions with Coach Smart? You
I have not. No, none.
No?
No, I have not.
Damn.
I like Kirby.
Well, of course, yeah.
I'm
Um,
glad he's gonna be sticking around for another 10 years or so.
so how many games do you try to make it to, like, during your crazy season?
Um, I try to make it to Georgia, Florida. If I'm not, but like, it's always during like the fall, like you're playing, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's just hard. Like, if I can take a week off or like play well and early, then yeah, I'm probably gonna take the Bermuda a week off and go to hang out here at home and then drive down to Jacksonville and
Yeah,
watch
like,
them play.
I can
But
see the post-round interview now with Greyson Sigg as he notches his first victory early in the season, and
that's
whoever's sticking the microphone in your face, and they're like, "Did you think about that now you're getting into the Masters?" You're like, "No. I have a free
fun.
schedule. I can go to as many Georgia games as I want to."
I mean, seriously though, like I would love to go. I haven't even the schedule's not great this year. Right? We got a
It's
pretty
not.
easy schedule,
Yeah.
which is good. But
Game
if
one's
I
gonna
I've only,
game one's gonna be a little hairy, but
I think so. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm a little not really worried about it, but we'll
yeah.
see. But I've only been to one Georgia Florida game, so I gotta make it back down there.
Mm.
And I had
Um,
way too much fun the first one I went to.
I'm sure. So you don't remember a lot of it. I've never been to a Georgia Florida game. I've never been
Well,
to the world's largest cocktail party.
what are you doing?
I
You
don't know.
need to
I can't
go.
get there. I hate Jacksonville. God dang, Jacksonville's the worst. I hate that place.
It's yeah, it's kind
No
of
offense to
sketchy.
Jacksonville listeners. You're probably lovely people, but the construction and
It is a
it's
shit show.
terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, I know you gotta go. Before I get to this, I meant to ask you this. Growing up in Augusta, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's like your early Augusta National experiences? Like, how often have you played there? What's your memory
Uh,
about Augusta?
I think
Because
my
I think
first
most people would assume really talented golfer, highly recruited in high
plays
school.
it all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I get that a lot. Like, my favorite question is like, how many times have you played the Masters? I'm like, zero, never.
Play the Masters 0 times,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, I'm like, you're
Yeah,
do you even watch golf, dude?
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
my favorite one. But think I played it my first time when I was 12 or something with Fleming Norval. He took a group of us out there. That was amazing. And then like every year at Georgia, we were able to play as long as
yeah.
we didn't make it. So that was pretty cool that we came down there every year. I mean, I probably played it, you know, 8 to 10 times maybe. Um, But growing up, that was probably the reason why I'm here, playing professional golf today, man. It was the best week of the year. I mean, you know how it is. It's
Yeah,
like you're in your
100%.
house, and like we always like never went out of town just because like
Yep.
I always loved golf, and I was there. I just always went there, and then it's the best week of the year, hands down. And now I don't really want to go back unless I'm playing. I've kind of made that kind of pact to myself until I. So
You guys always say that. Oh gosh.
hopefully I'll get back to Augusta National before too long.
Plus, like, you being a member at Augusta growing up Augusta Country Club, right?
Yeah,
Which is the next best place to be in Augusta during Masters Week. I can imagine for you, when you make it to your first Masters,
yeah.
actually Masters, so the jackass had asked you if you've heard how many times you played the Masters. When you make it to your first Masters, like, you're gonna have to put in some effort, dude, to, like, make sure you're I mean, right? Like, that you're all business because you got Augusta Country Club stuff,
Oh, I mean,
all the
yeah,
family and
100%. Like,
friends.
yeah, it'd be such a cool week. I mean, I've never really played. I mean, my home crowd is RSM this year, and there's my family comes down, but like I couldn't imagine like the support and just the whole week. Like that would be so badass. But yeah, I'd probably have to turn my phone off. That's for sure.
Yeah, and probably stay away from the club.
I wouldn't go to the country club.
Yeah, no, you could not do that.
No,
Yeah, I think that could be tough, man. You'd have to battle
be
that
cool.
out, but hopefully you run into that problem in 2023.
One day, that'd be a good problem to have.
Yep. All right, Grayson, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
buddy. Happy to
We
be here,
wish
man.
you the best in your season, and also getting married. I mean, dang,
Yeah.
um, it's gonna be great, dude. I can't. Next time we have you on, we'll have to find out because I love asking married people this. I love asking people, what's the one thing you do that really annoys the hell out of your spouse that you didn't think or you didn't know would annoy her until like you get married, and then there's always like
That
a
changed because there's already some things that already annoy
oh
her.
yeah, I got news for you, buddy. There's she's gonna uncover
More things come.
yeah. Like what's the most annoying thing you do to her now?
She really doesn't like when I put a dip in over the sink and I don't rinse the remnants into the drain.
Come
So I'm
on,
like,
man.
it's like how many times do I have to tell you? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty bad,
Come
man.
on. You
Bad.
gotta get domesticated. You're gonna be a house
I mean, I
cat.
try to do it. I mean, if there's a couple little things that it's like just rinse the sink out. I'm like, you're right. I'll do it
But
next time.
that is
Have to learn.
exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about, though. It's the
Yeah.
little stuff. It's I shave and I don't ever get the hair out of the sink, or it's
Yeah.
it's, there's always the little thing. The toilet seat thing is that's cliche.
Yeah. I mean, that's just inevitable.
There's always something else, though.
Yeah.
It's the way you make a peanut butter sandwich. You do the peanut butter first, you should do the jelly first, or whatever it is. It's always something like that. So, I'm
Why would
just
you choose that piece of bread?
right. I'm just saying, be on alert. Be ready for that because it's gonna happen. Okay.
Okay, I'll be ready for it. I'll make notes.
All right, buddy. All right.
I'll make sure to stop it before it starts happening.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that you're gonna have any luck doing that, but you can give it a shot.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you having me on. That was
Yeah.
great.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. It might be a couple weeks before we drop this. We might drop it before the Fortinet, right
Whatever.
before you, or maybe before Napa. That could be really fun. Right
Yeah.
before
Fuck
you
off.
win completely hungover in Napa.
That would be so tight.
So we'll see. And listen, I appreciate you. And if I
Yeah.
don't
Let
run
me know
into
if you
you
need anything else,
before,
buddy. Happy to help you guys.
yep, thank you. And if I don't see you
Got it.
before the RSM, we'll see you then.
Yeah. Holler at me then.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Grayson.
Peace.